Thank you very much, Director of Ceremonies, for this opportunity.
Thank you, Ambassador Ramudimusi, for the warm welcome and introduction of our esteemed guests. Distinguished guests, at this juncture of the program, we will transition to the segment for the presentation of the remarks, commencing with the welcome remarks by the Minister of Water and Human Settlement, Honorable Ramokgapi, followed by remarks by the UN Resident Coordinator, Ms. Yang, and Ms. Anna Claudia Rosbach, the UN Habitat Executive Director. Following these remarks, the keynote address for the day will be delivered by the President of this great republic, Advocate Duma Boko. We will conclude the program with a vote of thanks by the Acting Minister of International Relations and Minister of Environment and Tourism, Honorable Muludzi. Without further ado, I wish to welcome Honorable Ramokgapi to deliver the welcome remarks. Honorable Minister.
Director of Ceremonies, allow me to recognize and appreciate the presence of the one and only one, Advocate Mr. President Duma Boko. And also allow me to recognize and appreciate the President of, the Undersecretary and Executive Director of UN Habitat, Ms. Anna Claudia Rosbach. Allow me to recognize and appreciate my greatest friends who are here present. Honorable Minister Tseri Kumhalabje. Allow me to recognize my friend, Honorable Winter Muludzi, and also to recognize my best friend, Motsamai. When they interpret Motsamai, they say simply is walker, means walker, and he liked to be called walker. So I appreciate you, my assistant, my deputy minister. Allow me to recognize UN Resident Coordinator, Ms. Yang, Executive Secretary of SADC, members of the Diplomatic Corps, the Mayor of Gaborone, Director of Ceremonies, all protocol observed. It is my singular honor and immense privilege that today I welcome you in this historic occasion, the official launch of the UN Habitat Regional Office for Southern Africa here in Gaborone. Today marks a significant milestone not only for Botswana but the entire Southern Africa region. The establishment of this office is a testament and a growing partnership between Botswana and UN Habitat. And it's also a reflection of our shared commitment of advancing sustainable urban development, inclusive human settlements. This will go along by aligning our vision with UN Habitat. And we are in a transformation to ensure that this vision is aligned and is executed within 3 years. Botswana's collaboration with UN Habitat spans decades, starting from our early affiliation with the United Nations in the 1990s. Over the years, this relationship has yielded impactful programs such as the Participatory Slum Upgrading Program, the SDG 11, the localization of the new urban agenda. These efforts have strengthened our capacity to deliver people-centered development, improve community livelihoods, and build inclusive, safe, and resilient urban environments. The launch of UN Habitat Regional Office for Southern Africa comes at a time when the challenges of urbanization require bold, coordinated, and innovative solutions. As the Minister responsible for water and women settlement, I welcome this initiative wholeheartedly. Access to adequate housing, basic services, water and sanitation are fundamental human rights, and they are foundational to national stability, human dignity, and economic growth. Mr. President, let me assure you that your dream, your vision of transforming this country within 3 years, it fell in a fertile soil. Your vision, Mr. President, is not negotiable and is not an optional in our ministry. It's a must do it no matter what. And we shall overcome and we shall succeed in ensuring that this vision is implemented, whether there is a reason or there is no reason. Ladies and gentlemen, this office will serve as a regional hub for technical expertise, policy innovation, and capacity building. It will also foster critical partnerships between governments, civil society, academia, and private sector. I am confident that the work to be undertaken here will not only benefit Botswana, but also strengthens efforts across Southern Africa to respond effectively to the complexities of urbanization, climate change, and spatial inequality. Allow me to take this opportunity to thank UN Habitat for their continued partnership and unwavering support. We also acknowledge the role played by the SADC Secretariat and other regional stakeholders in bringing this vision to life. Botswana is honored to host UN Habitat Regional Office for Southern Africa and to play a pivotal role in this region. Director of Ceremonies, distinguished guests, let me conclude by saying the journey is not concluded. The journey is begun. We should all support and embrace the vision of UN Habitat. As together we can succeed, and divided we can fall. And we appreciate you a lot, madam, that you are here, coming all the way to come and support this vision. We are very happy. Thank you so much. You are most welcome.
Thank you, Minister Ramokgapi, for your remarks and the project overview, which has indeed shed more light on the efforts taken to bring us to this point, where Botswana has embraced this very important role to serve as the host country of choice for the UN Habitat Sub-Regional Office for Southern Africa. At this juncture, we will now proceed with remarks by the UN Resident Coordinator. Ms. Yang, you're welcome.
Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Botswana, Advocate Duma Boko, Under-Secretary General and Executive Director, UN Habitat, Ms. Anna Claudia Rochbach, Acting Minister of International Relations, Honorable Winter Molotsi, Minister of Water and Human Settlements, Honorable Onetsi Ramagapi, Honorable Ministers here present and representatives of the government of Botswana, colleagues from the Southern African Development Community, esteemed members of the Diplomatic Corps, colleagues from the United Nations family, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Dumela, welcome to the United Nations House. It is a great honor for the UN family in Botswana to host this milestone occasion, the official launch of the UN Habitat Sub-Regional Hub for Southern Africa. Allow me to extend our deepest appreciation to His Excellency the President of the Republic of Botswana, Advocate Duma Boko, for joining us today to officiate the ceremony. And Mr. President, your presence is a powerful testament to Botswana's leadership on sustainable development and regional cooperation, and to the importance of a partnership between the government and the United Nations. This launch indeed is significant. First, it reflects Botswana's growing commitment to managing urbanization as an integral part of its national development agenda. With over 70% of Botswana now living in urban areas, the stakes for getting cities right has never been higher. The government has made steady efforts through policy reform, infrastructure investment, and digital planning to ensure that urban growth supports inclusion, resilience, and opportunity for all. Second, this new hub positions UN Habitat to better serve the Southern Africa region. It will be a platform for policy advice, capacity development, and knowledge sharing, spanning from housing, land governance, smart cities, and climate adaptation. It is a strategic presence that reflects the region's rising demand for integrated and responsive urban solutions. And last but not least, the hub reinforces the broader role of the United Nations in Botswana. It adds breadth and depth to our support to the government, strengthens our technical offering, and helps anchor our support in one of the most dynamic dimensions of development today, that is urban transformation. Excellencies, colleagues, and friends, the launch also takes place at a particularly important moment in Botswana's national development journey. The recently announced economic transformation program charts an ambitious path for diversifying the economy, building human capital, and unlocking sustainable and inclusive development. Urban development, when it's well planned and inclusive, can be a powerful driver of that transformation. Historically, cities emerged as the centers of business, commerce, employment, and opportunities for personal advancement. When investment, innovation, and provision of inclusive social services converge, urbanization can improve people's lives and drive national economic and social development. As the UN country team, we are proud to support the government's development priorities under the Economic Transformation Program, Vision 2036, Agenda 2063, and the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Later this year, we will begin working closely with our government counterparts to design the next United Nations Sustainable Development Cooperation Program framework for the year 2027 to 2032. This will be our collective blueprint for development cooperation in the years ahead. We look forward to co-creating this next chapter in full partnership with the government, including leveraging this regional hub to integrate sustainable urban development into broader development planning. To our colleagues at UN Habitat, welcome to the UN House, and we are delighted to have you with us. To the government of Botswana, thank you for your trust and close collaboration. To the distinguished members of the diplomatic corps and guests, we look forward to engaging with you as development partners. Together, let us continue to shape cities and futures that are inclusive, resilient, and full of opportunities for all. I thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Yang, for your remarks, which, among others, have highlighted the ample opportunity that this office will provide for transformative urbanization and for the opportunities that will be presented for enhanced cooperation between Botswana and the UN in Botswana. At this point, I wish to welcome Ms. Rose Back, United Nations Under-Secretary General and Executive Director of UN Habitat, to present her remarks, ma'am.
Advocate Duma Boko, President of the Republic of Botswana. Mr. Domingo Gove, Acting Executive Secretary of SADC. Honorable Onetsi Amogapi, Minister of Water and Human Settlements. Honorable Winter Mlotozi, Acting Minister of International Relations. Honorable Ministers and distinguished representatives of the government of Botswana, ambassadors and diplomatic representatives in Botswana. Mrs. Wenyan Yang, United Nations Resident Coordinator, colleagues from the United Nations system, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to stand before you today to mark this historic occasion, the official opening of the UN Habitat Sub-Regional Hub for Southern Africa here in Gaborone, Botswana. Allow me to begin by extending my sincere gratitude to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Botswana, for your visionary leadership and continued commitment to sustainable urban development. I also wish to thank the Honorable Minister of Water and Human Settlement, Honorable Onetsi Amogapi, the Ministry's leadership, and the government of Botswana as a whole for the warm partnership and for making today's milestone possible. This new office represents more than just a physical presence. It symbolizes our shared resolve to address the most pressing urban development challenges in the region together. It is a concrete outcome of the Memorandum of Understanding signed between UN Habitat and the government of Botswana, which outlines focused collaboration to promote housing and sustainable urban development aligned with Agenda 2063, the new urban agenda, and the Sustainable Development Goals, especially SDG 11, which seeks to make cities inclusive, safe, and resilient. Botswana stands at a pivotal moment in its urban transition. Like many countries in the region, it is navigating rapid urbanization, with already 73% of the country's population being urban, a phenomenon that brings pressure on housing, infrastructures, and essential services, while at the same time presents vast economic transformation opportunities. Managing this growth effectively can be a catalyst for inclusive economic transformation, for job creation, and improved quality of life. UN Habitat is fully committed to supporting Botswana's urban vision and economic diversification agenda by offering technical expertise, policy advice, and strategic partnerships that can help unlock the full potential of cities and towns. I commend Botswana for its proactive efforts to improve urban living conditions, from investments in affordable housing to climate-resilient infrastructure and sustainable land management. The country's forward-looking approach aligns closely with UN Habitat's global priorities and demonstrates why Botswana is a key partner in advancing sustainable urbanization. We are proud to support the government's ambitions through various initiatives, including technical assistance, policy advice, and innovative digital tools. Notably, through our various past and ongoing initiatives, the implementation of the Participatory Slum Upgrading Program promoted inclusive housing policies, strengthening community participation, and empowering local stakeholders. The introduction of the Land Integrated Management System, advanced digitized records, enhanced security of tenure, and transparent administration for land governance. SDG 11 monitoring equips national and local governments with tools to track progress towards safe, resilient, and sustainable cities. The United Nations Innovation Technology Accelerator for Cities, UNITAC, a partnership, explored the development of a digital Kigotla and supported community engagement in shaping the master plan for the Sego-Ditshane River Corridor, an example of how digital innovation can enhance inclusive urban planning and lay the groundwork for future smart cities hub in Botswana. Botswana has high potential to emerge as a digital hub for innovation through the collaboration with UNITAC, a joint venture between UN and the Hafen University in Hamburg, Germany. The establishment of this sub-regional hub represents a strategic step towards strengthening our engagement across Southern Africa. It will enable us to coordinate more effectively, provide tailored technical support, and facilitate knowledge sharing across our key priority areas: housing, land development, urban planning, smart cities, climate resilience, and tracking progress on the new urban agenda. Importantly, it will also serve as a platform to build capacity and elevate Botswana's young professionals to engage at regional and global levels. As you are already informed, Member States just endorsed the new strategic plan of UN Habitat for the period 26-29, with a focus on housing, land, and basic services. And many thanks for the government of Botswana, through both the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Water and Human Settlements, for supporting the endorsement of the new strategic plan. This is also an endorsement of our common agenda ahead with Botswana, including the critical review of the Country Planning Act of 2013 as a critical framework to further advance with the housing and informal settlements transformation agenda, and land-based finance. UN Habitat will be in the position to facilitate learning and exchanges with other regions, for example, Latin America, who has advanced significantly with the recognition of the principles of the social and ecological functions of the land. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I am especially pleased that this new sub-regional hub will serve as a vital platform to advance our collaboration with the Southern African Development Community. The 2023 SADC Summit decision calling for the establishment of this office is a testament to the region's strong political will and alignment with our shared goals. UN Habitat is proud to deepen this partnership through the recently developed Joint Action Plan for 26-27, which operationalizes our Memorandum of Understanding to promote sustainable urbanization and effective crisis response across the region. Together with the SADC Secretariat, we will work closely to implement regional frameworks that support urban resilience, sustainable infrastructure, and human development. In addition, this collaboration focuses on critical areas such as disaster risk reduction, climate resilience, transformation of informal settlements, development of eco-city strategies, solid waste management, and infrastructure development along regional economic corridors. It also includes joint efforts in policy development, technical assistance, and capacity building, with the support of seconded UN Habitat experts working alongside SADC counterparts. UN Habitat will strengthen its support to the SADC member countries on housing and informal settlement transformations through knowledge exchanges, capacity building, and transformative approaches. Botswana's hosting of this office will be instrumental in driving forward these efforts and enhancing coordination with SADC member states as we work together towards the goals outlined in the Regional Indicative Strategic Development Plan. UN Habitat will not walk this journey alone. Our presence here will strengthen the broader UN development system in Botswana and contribute to the implementation of the new United Nations Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework. As we move toward a new common country analysis, I call on all sister UN agencies to work closely with us in fostering truly integrated and collaborative development programming. UN Habitat is also leveraging strategic collaboration with both international and regional financial institutions to increase financing for cities and urban development. In addition to our collaboration with the World Bank and Islamic Development Bank, UN Habitat just concluded an MOU with the African Development Bank to support urban infrastructures, housing, and efficient urban planning in Africa. Today's opening is also a signal to development partners, the private sector, and stakeholders at all levels. UN Habitat is here to stay and to serve. Botswana's generous commitment over the next 5 years to the recently concluded contribution agreement is a testament to the strength of our partnership and a model of government leadership we hope to replicate across the continent. Before I conclude, I warmly invite His Excellency, the President, and the government of Botswana to participate in the upcoming World Urban Forum, WUF 13, from the 18th to the 22nd of May in 2026 in Baku, Azerbaijan, where we will continue these vital conversations and share Botswana's leadership with the global community. And the topic of the WUF 13 is housing. I look forward to seeing you also at the Presidential Dialogue on Housing organized by Excellency Samuel William Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, on the 23rd of September in New York in the margin of the United Nations General Assembly. In closing, let me reaffirm UN Habitat's full commitment to the people of Botswana and the Southern Africa region. We will continue to offer our expertise, build capacities, mobilize knowledge, and connect partners, because sustainable urbanization is not just a development goal. It is the foundation of opportunity, dignity, and resilience. Together, we can shape the future of our cities and communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rosbach, for your remarks, which, among others, have underscored ways in which the sub-regional office will go a long way in advancing the UN Habitat objective of building inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable cities and communities, and the key role that Botswana and other SADC member states will play in contributing towards these efforts. At this juncture, it is my honor to welcome the President of the Republic of Botswana, Advocate Duma Boko, to deliver the keynote address for today.
Thank you very much. Please be seated. Let me thank the director of these proceedings and recognize the Minister of Water and Human Settlement, Mr. Onetse Ramogapi, the Acting Minister of International Relations, Re Winter Muluti, the Minister of Communications and Innovation, Mr. Tsiri. There was mentioned Re Mutamai. Yes. We recognize him too. The resident coordinator of the United Nations, Wenyang Yang, the executive director of UN Habitat, Ms. Anna Claudia Rosbach, the acting executive secretary of SADC, who is also an integral part of this function, members of the diplomatic corps, the Chief of Staff in the Office of the President, Dr. Tseko, heads of international organizations, permanent secretaries and acting permanent secretaries who are with us here today, government officials, the Deputy Mayor of Gaborone, Chief Executive Officers who have graced this event, and other leaders in the business sector, members of the media, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is a moment of great joy as we gather here today to witness and celebrate the official launch of the United Nations Sub-Regional Office for Southern Africa here in our country, in our city, Gaborone. This occasion marks a significant step of advance in our country's enduring commitment to multilateralism, even at a time when there is a vicious pushback against multilateralism. We are committed to multilateralism and the responsibility we carry to host international organizations. We remain resolute and firm in our support for institutions that choose our country as a base for their operations, particularly those serving regional cooperation efforts alongside the Southern African Development Community Secretariat. On behalf of the government of Botswana, and the people of this republic, Madam Executive Director, I'd like to extend a sincere and warm welcome to you and your team. We are honored by your presence, and we are grateful for the trust, confidence, and partnership that UN Habitat continues to demonstrate for our region and our country. I commend UN Habitat for its commitment to building sustainable, inclusive, and resilient communities across Southern Africa. We are particularly encouraged that the priorities outlined in the UN Habitat 2026-2029 strategic plan, which are adequate housing, land, and basic services, tackling inequality, discrimination and poverty, and the urgent transformation of informal settlement, reflect the core developmental needs of our country and indeed needs of the entire Southern African region. The outcomes of the 2025 UN Habitat Assembly clearly demonstrate that Southern Africa's aspirations are well represented in your agenda. In Botswana, the provision of affordable, decent housing for our people is one of our government's top priorities, as espoused in the UN Sustainable Development Goal number 11 on sustainable cities and communities. In this regard, government is committed to delivering 100,000 affordable housing units for low-income earners across both urban and rural communities within the next 3 years, from April 2025 to 2028. Might I just indicate that the Minister has assured the nation that he will deliver these 100,000 houses within 2 years. And so we look forward to the breakneck speed at which the Minister is executing this important responsibility. We affirm our commitment to this national housing program called Bonno. We stand in full support of all actions and initiatives, interventions that the Minister will undertake in pursuance of the mandate to deliver as he has set himself within the next 2 years. This program affirms our commitment to providing affordable housing, quality housing for every citizen in our country. We view the establishment, therefore, of the UN Habitat Sub-Regional Office for Southern Africa in Botswana as not only a symbol of the strengthened partnership between UN Habitat and SADC, but also as a practical step forward in delivering on our shared priorities. Botswana is proud to have played a key role in facilitating this vision, including providing suitable office space to support your mission. Urbanization is one of the defining challenges of our time. In Botswana, as has been indicated, over 60% of our population, the resident coordinator suggests it's more above 70%, and we defer to her statement of the position. We defer because of their specialized knowledge and expertise which they will render to us. 70% or more of our population now resides in urban areas, and this figure is rising. This shift in settlement patterns compels us to rethink how we plan, how we govern, and how we manage our cities to ensure they are livable, hospitable, they are safe, they are inclusive, they are productive and environmentally sustainable. Urban development is therefore a key pillar of our national development agenda. Vision 2036 calls for sustainable human settlements and quality infrastructure as part of our journey to a high-income, inclusive society. This commitment to build 100,000 houses across the breadth and dimensions of this country goes beyond numbers. It is about transforming lives. Decent and affordable housing is a basic human right and a catalyst for dignity, well-being, and inclusive development. I recently launched in Palape the commencement of the construction of 61,000 houses as part of the Bonuno National Housing Program, which houses will be constructed across all the 61 parliamentary constituencies in our country. With each constituency receiving no less than 1,000 houses. In April this year, I launched the Target 3,000 housing project in Gaborone, which is also part of the drive for affordable housing. Madam Executive Director, we see here a clear opportunity for partnership between Botswana and UN Habitat on housing and human settlement projects aligned with your 2026-2029 strategic plan. I'd be honored to have you join us at upcoming project launches. It will entail some traveling in and out of the country, which is encouraged and invited, so that we can work together to make affordable housing a reality for all our people in Botswana. The presence of UN Habitat in Botswana strengthens our capacity to realize this vision of affording decent housing to all. Your global expertise, your technical resources, and policy experience will be instrumental in helping us design and implement solutions that are tailored to our unique context, from informal settlement upgrading to slum prevention, climate resilient infrastructure, to youth and gender inclusive planning. Let me emphasize that sustainable urban development is not the responsibility of government alone. It requires the collective effort of central and local authorities, traditional leadership, academia, civil society, the private sector, and indeed every citizen. The opening of this office in Gaborone provides a platform for deepened collaboration, knowledge exchange, and innovation. I therefore call upon all stakeholders to engage actively with UN Habitat, this sub-regional office, and support its mission. Let us work together to transform our urban centers into engines of growth, of opportunity, and environmental stewardship. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, on behalf of the government and the people of Botswana, I'd like to extend sincere appreciation to the United Nations for the establishment of this sub-regional office, further complementing the presence of other UN offices already hosted in Botswana. We have, in fact, motivated for more UN agencies to relocate from where they seem to be an endangered species to Botswana, which is a haven for them. So today marks a renewed chapter in the long-standing and constructive partnership between the government of Botswana and the United Nations system, one that we trust will yield lasting benefits for present and future generations across our region. It gives me great pleasure then in celebrating this launch, the establishment of this office in Gaborone, and as we say, Pula, may it rain. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, for your remarkable address, which, among others, has underscored Botswana's commitment to promoting the spirit of multilateralism, as well as her commitment to support the urban development agenda for the Southern African region. And as you've noted, Mr. President, among others, this commitment is about transforming lives and ensuring that the right to adequate housing is protected for all. We thank you, Mr. President. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are near the tail end of today's program. And at this point, I wish to invite the Acting Minister of International Relations and Minister of Environment and Tourism, Honorable Mulutsi, to present the vote of thanks. Honorable Minister. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director of Ceremony. Mr. President, Advocate Duma Boko, President of the Republic of Botswana, Honorable Minister Onetse Ramogapi, Minister of Water and Human Settlements, Honorable Minister Retsere, Honorable Assistant Minister Ray Mutsamai, the Executive Director of the United Nations Human Settlements Program, Mayor Rosbach, the Deputy Mayor of the City of Gaborone, Mayor Mankisikete, Chief of Staff of the Republic of Botswana, Ambassador Thuso Ramudimosi, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of International Relations, the UN Resident Coordinator, Me Yang, the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps and Ambassador of the Republic of Angola to Botswana, Her Excellency Morais, Your Excellencies, heads of diplomatic missions and international organizations, senior government officials and members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor and privilege to deliver these closing remarks on this momentous occasion of the official opening of the United Nations Habitat Regional Office for Southern Africa. Let me, at the outset, thank the President of the Republic of Botswana, Advocate Duma Boko, for taking time in his very busy schedule to be with us here today. I wish to recognize his robust and insightful keynote address, which speaks directly to the important mandate of the United Nations Human Settlements. This very important mandate is premised on developing sustainable communities and managing urban and rural development through the sub-region of Southern Africa, and we thank the UN Habitat for moving closer to the region to work with us on this. I also want to take this opportunity to express gratitude to all those who worked tirelessly to ensure that the dream of establishing the UN Habitat Sub-Regional Office for Southern Africa in Botswana is realized. Our profound appreciation also goes to the United Nations for having found it fit to facilitate the establishment of the office in this republic. This is indeed a landmark achievement and a true reflection of the long-standing partnership that exists between the government of Botswana and UN Habitat in the advancement of sustainable urban and rural development and regional cooperation. It is our firm belief that the regional office will strengthen coordination in the implementation of UN Habitat strategic plan and improve the much-needed efficiency and effectiveness in the delivery of the mandate of the agency. Furthermore, this office, which is located in the heart of Southern Africa, will ensure that the implementation of the strategic plan is tailored to the needs and priorities of our region. I'm also delighted that this arrangement will enhance collaboration among countries in our region and with the UN Habitat, and to this end, promote knowledge sharing as well as strengthen monitoring and evaluation of our human settlement programs. I am pleased, Director of Ceremony, to learn that the office will bring into our country international technical experts who are well vested on issues of urban and rural development. This will indeed bolster our capacity in the areas of urbanization and human settlements through the transfer of skills and knowledge into the country and the region, and contribute to the government's job creation efforts. Director of Ceremony, let me affirm that Government of Botswana is highly devoted to availing continued support to UN Habitat towards the successful delivery of its mandate. The reason for our support is premised in our firm belief that such collaboration will transform human settlements in our region, and that the policy guidance that we will continue to provide to our respective countries will help us attain sustainable cities and human settlements that are inclusive, safe, and resilient, as espoused in Sustainable Development Goal number 11. To Mayor Marosbeth, the Executive Director of the United Nations Human Settlement Program, and your staff, thank you very much. Muito obrigado. Thank you for gracing this important event and for supporting us throughout this journey. The invaluable knowledge and expertise shared by yourself and your team have been instrumental in the successful establishment of this office and its launch. I wish to also thank the UN Habitat team for their professionalism and dedication in ensuring that this office is renovated and equipped to the United Nations standards. In the same spirit, let me thank the UN family at large, friends and development partners, including senior government officials who are represented here today to witness this historic event. We are what we are because of the solid foundation we laid down together. I thank you and thank you most profoundly. Ke a leboga bagaetsho.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for your gracious vote of thanks. Indeed, we are appreciative to you all for having honored this invitation to be part of this important occasion. President Boko, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as our program draws to a close, we will conclude with the unveiling of the plaque for the UN Habitat Sub-Regional Office for Southern Africa and an official photo. Our protocol team is ready to assist and guide with this segment. Following the unveiling and the photo, we wish to invite you all to break bread with us. There's some refreshments that will be served at the front. We kindly request that you allow the President and the esteemed guests to be escorted first by protocol. Thank you.
Minister.
Motswana itse o tla ke go dumedise ke go amogela mo thulaganyong ya Botswana Connect ka leina ke bidiwa Lucia Ramasu ke tla be ke na le wena go fitla ka nako ya bobedi mo motshegareng mme gakologelo jalo gore ya tshwantse re sa tswang go se lebelela tota re ne re mana jalo tautona Advocate Duma Boko a le teng ka ko pulong simusi office ya UN Habitat ele tshwaragano ya lefatshe leno le lekalana la United Nations Human Settlements Program go bulwa ga ofisi e go tla jana morago ga gore bobedi jo bo be monwana tumalano go rotloetsa tirisano mmogo le thotloetso ya go akaretsa botlhe mo go nneng le tshwanelo ya bonno le ditlhabololo tsa senela ruri go ya ka maitlamo a Agenda 2063 New Urban Agenda. Tumalano e itebagantse thata le tsetlana ya maitlamo a ditlhabololo tsa senela ruri a SDG 11 a gwetlang tlhabologo ya senela ruri ya ditoropo le magae e babalesegileng e bile ya akaretsa batho botlhe lekalana la UN Habitat le filwe maikarabelo a go tlhomamisa gore ditoropo le metse di tlhabologa sentle ka jalo ofisi ya Botswana e tla netefatsa gore maitlamo ao a diragadiwa mo kgaolong ya borwa jwa Afrika hela jaaka re setse go utlwa thulaganyo teng ka kwa ewetsi mme go se hela jalo gore ba re bolole yone ofisi eo ya UN Habitat e leng gore e tla be e itebagantse jalo le tsotlhe hela tse di akaretsang kgotsa tse di dirang le ka tsa bonno mme mono mo thulaganyong e ya rona ya Botswana Connect re tla bentse re go tlisetsa dikgang